What's up, everybody? I wanted to make a quick update video on Bitcoin. I think we are kind of at a fork in the road and wanted to get some information out that I thought might be helpful for you all with trying to trade this thing and find the bottom. One thing I did is I split my screen between a 33 and a 77. Normally, I don't, show videos going down this low. But since, I think we're, trying to figure out flatline stabilization, I thought it would be, useful to show you guys how I do it whenever I go down here. So first thing is on a 33, what I'm looking for are these major moments. So right here, we kind of had this peak on our 7. And then down here, we have our valley, right? So what I did is I used those as my first 2 major points for reference, and I drew a cycle line from top to bottom, right? Boom, boom. What I noticed right away is that this thing is building out in different scales. If we look at these different sections, say this is section 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we're just on our 33, but you can kind of still see how it forms on a 77. This section 1, had all negatives, right? The 231 was negative, the 77 was negative, and the 7 was negative, right? So that's like 3 negatives. So we could just go minus, minus, minus for that one. This one, the 7's positive, the 231, and beginning the 77 was still negative. So this one is like 2 negatives, right? With 1 positive. I should have did like plus marks. Let's rewind that. Negative is just going to be a down arrow, right? So this one has 3 downs. 1, 2, 3. And then this one has 2 downs, right? 1 positive, right? And then this one, section 3, 7's positive for the most part. Generally, 7's positive, 77 is positive, and the 231 is still negative. Right. And here we had 2 positives, 1 negative. So you see what happened is basically in between this area, we kind of flipped, right? That's like a critical point. So what I can do even now that I'm making this thing on the fly is almost use that point as kind of like a third little reference point. And look, on the 77, we actually bottomed out right there. And that's why I tell you guys the 77 on a 77 is the most important line, because as long as this thing is going up and to the right, that means that the quick money, is in. This is kind of like the baseline. So if you see that blue line, going up and to the right, you're pretty good, right? But with Bitcoin, we want to try to maximize this thing. And, I use this opportunity as a teaching lesson as well as a trading lesson. So what do I see forming inside this chart? It's a little bit of divergence here, right? Because on section 4, the 77, is now going negative, right? We'll change that back to yellow. The 77 is now going negative, but then we have the 7 and the 231 going positive. So what does that mean, right? If the 7's going positive and the 231 is going positive, but the 77 is going negative, that means it's going to land somewhere in there, right? Which is exactly what just happened. Now we're somewhere in limbo land between the 77 and the 231. This is a divergence. This is not necessarily a sign of strength. However, it is not a breakdown either, right? What it means, one of 2 things. If we have the volume come back, then we can have another breakout, just as we did, in this little section of the chart right there, right? To where we had a divergence. We actually pulled up on the 231 and had another big wave breakout. But since that just happened, I'm going to take this to infer somewhat of a sign of weakness in Bitcoin's chart. Also, if you look at the waves, I'm going to clear this one off. We still have it on the right hand side. If you look at Bitcoin's waves, just on a general term, this is almost forming like a double top right here. in crypto, that's not a very good sign at all. What that normally means is the momentum is moving down and you're going to catch wherever you started near the bottom. What does that look like for Bitcoin? It looks something like this right here. Right around 78. That's a deep drop from where we are now. But I don't think it's out of the question given where we came from, right? And I think that's what a lot of speculators are saying. Like, they don't feel comfortable with Bitcoin going up, to 15, 18,000 now because we came back from 6. So again, I think we do need to confirm this floor. That will either happen here to where we sit here for a few days, right around, what price point is this? Let's clear that off. Redraw this thing. It'll either be that quick band right there, right where we form that intersection. That's right at 8,300, or we can drop down to this band where we started kind of this continuation cycle. That would be right around 8,100, or we could take a full drop. I don't think we'll go all the way down there, only unless we have some major sell-off action. If we take a full drop, that's what that'll look like. That'll be right around 79, right? Again, statistically, we could go down to 7, but because we sat sideways for so long, north of 8, I don't think that that's really in the chart right now, especially since the 231 is going positive. Now, if this 231 was still going negative on top of us, then yes, I would say we probably need to go down there to come up, to do something like that. But since we already did that, I don't really think, we need to do it again to confirm the relative strength of the market. That's exactly what that thing, basically did right there, right? So we already did it once. I don't think we need to do it again. But you can expect to maybe catch it on one of these quick drops. And I'm talking inside the next day or so. You can probably get it on discount here before we sit sideways and start this next big breakout run. I think with China coming back, love is in the air right around February 14th, 15th, 16th. In one of my older videos on the BK and Cole channel, make sure you subscribe. I'm dropping some knowledge on that channel.
All of these currencies, they ebb and flow. It's a currency. It's a current. Come on. A bank is what? On both sides of a river. A river has a what? A current. I mean, come on. It's all semantics. It's all, this is what it is.
It's all energy.
It's all energy. It all flows. So we got to chill out. Everybody chill out. Y'all know who you are. If you freaking out, chill out.
It's only numbers on the screen.
Just buy. The lower it goes, put more trust into it.
It's gonna bottom out around 7,500. Anything under 75 is free money.
Right. Like, come on. Like, we wanted to go low so we could buy more.
Right. Give me more.
Anyway, okay, we're gonna go to dinner.
Yeah.
So. We're gonna talk about his trip.
I told you guys that I expected Bitcoin to bottom out right around 72 to 78, 76, 78. Before we catch our breath to continue higher. And that's what we could look at. I just wanted to get a quick update out to you guys. I didn't want to make this thing a long, drawn out live stream. But, if you are playing BTC to the USD, if you have some extra fiat on the sidelines like me, you might want to be looking to make a purchase inside the next 48 hours. Because after that, the long money, I believe, is back in Bitcoin. And that's confirmed just by looking at our 77-minute candle and seeing that our 77 is above the 231. The 231's dovetailing out. The 77 is above it, and that means that sooner than later, we'll see a bull market return to Bitcoin. Hope this helps you guys. Hit me up, leave me a comment down below. Shoot me a message if you, want some more insight or just getting started. Again, check out bossofbitcoin.com for more crypto resources, and also Nani Crypto on YouTube to get started with beginner videos. Till we meet again, stay cryptic, y'all. Peace.
Like a boss. Arms. boss.